In 1953, a University of Chicago physiologist named Nathaniel Kleitman wired electrodes to sleeping students and found something nobody expected. The brain doesn't drift through the night evenly. It swings through sharp 90-minute waves, cycling from deep rest to high activity and back, every single time, without exception. Kleitman assumed this pattern belonged only to sleep. He was wrong. A generation later, Israeli sleep researcher Peretz Levy picked up where Kleitman stopped and asked a harder question. Does this 90-minute wave keep running while you're awake? He tracked subjects through full waking days and found the same rhythm humming underneath everything, alertness climbing for roughly 90 minutes, then dipping into a 20-minute trough whether you fight it or not. Levy called it the basic rest activity cycle. Your brain, it turns out, was never built to focus in one continuous line. It was built in waves. Here's where it gets strange. In 1993, psychologist Anders Ericsson walked into the Music Academy of West Berlin to study something completely different: why some violin students became world-class and others didn't. He expected to find longer practice hours. Instead, he found something closer to Kleitman's data. The best violinists, the ones tracked toward international solo careers, almost never practiced past 90 minutes without stopping. They worked in tight blocks, then rested, deliberately, every time. If you've been getting value from these, we post 3 of these a day. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Now the complication. Most people never learn this rule, so they do the opposite. They push through the 90-minute mark, straight into the 20-minute trough, and force focus that their own brain chemistry has already started shutting off. Cortisol climbs, attention fragments, and the work you produce in that stretch is measurably worse, not because you lack discipline, but because you're fighting a cycle that was documented on an EEG chart 70 years ago. Ericsson's violinists weren't more disciplined than everyone else. They just stopped on time. Turn on notifications so tomorrow's video hits your feed the second it drops, because this pattern shows up in places you wouldn't expect. Which brings us back to that first electrode reading in a Chicago sleep lab. Kleitman thought he'd found a fact about dreaming. He'd actually found a fact about attention itself, one that a room full of violin prodigies would confirm without ever hearing his name. The rule is simple enough to use tonight. Work in blocks close to 90 minutes, then take a real break before the trough forces one on you. Comment below and tell us the longest you've ever pushed past your own limit before it caught up with you.